To this day, the PlayStation Vita remains a niche and obscure gaming system in the eyes of the mainstream gaming community. But to those of us who own, play, and love this handheld, I think it's safe to say that there are a lot of people out there that are missing out on some great portable experiences. Despite its relative obscurity in the US and Western world, the PlayStation Vita continues to get plenty of games, some of which are popular Western indie titles, and others are localized from the Japan-Asia regions. Sometimes we get them digitally, others on a physical retail cartridge. With all of that being said, the PS Vita has some awesome titles coming up. So, without further ado, here are the top 10 upcoming PlayStation Vita titles arriving between 2017 and 2018. Number 10. Yomawari Midnight Shadows. A survival horror game created and developed by NIS for short, this game is a direct sequel to their previous game Yomawari Night Alone. The story goes like this. Two young girls visit a mountain clearing to watch the evening fireworks. As night falls and the fireworks come to a close, their hometown becomes enveloped by darkness. On their journey home, something lunges out of the shadows to attack, and the two girls find themselves separated and lost in the dark. The girls must face the darkness to find each other and make their way home. This game has an asymmetric top-down adventure game with a gorgeous art style, and while the two main characters seem cute, their world of darkness is anything but. Number 9. Kaos Child. Originally released for the PlayStation 3 in 2015 in Japan, developer P-Cube has decided that Kaos Child can find a good home in the PS Vita, and frankly, I believe they're right. If you're a fan of the PS Vita and its visual novels, then you've probably played Steins Gate, Robotics Notes, and Steins Gate Zero. Well, this is the next iteration in that franchise. Like many visual novels, there are many routes and possible endings you can obtain based on the decisions you make throughout your playthrough. To be frank, you either enjoy these games or you don't. These types of games rely more on storytelling than anything else, and they're not for everyone. Number 8. Shakedown Hawaii. Developed by V-Blank Entertainment as a direct sequel to Retro City Rampage, Shakedown Hawaii is a top-down 16-bit style action-adventure game, taking place 30 years after the events of Retro City Rampage. This game follows up on the main protagonist who comes out of an early retirement to rebuild his neglected corporate empire. Like previous games, get ready to shoot, blast, and crash your way through an open world to build a quote-unquote legitimate business. Number 7. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Developed by Mediavision and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory is a role-playing game that is expected to release in December of 2017 for Japan, with a worldwide release rolling out at some point in 2018. This game will share some of the elements and locations of its predecessor, however it will feature an additional story and a much larger array of Digimon for the players to collect. The game revolves around a boy named Keisuke Amazawa whose Eden account is stolen by a phishing attack. On top of being a victim of identity theft, he is accused of a crime he didn't commit, and joins a group of hackers to find the real culprit. Familiar characters are seen along the way and unseen portions of their story are revealed. If you enjoyed Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, you cannot pass this game up. Number 6. Samurai Shodown V Special. This marks the return of one of SNK's classic Neo Geo arcade fighters. Originally released for the Neo Geo AES home console and NVS arcade board respectively in 2004, this game makes a comeback into the HD realm on PlayStation Vita. If you're a fan of these 16 and 8-bit style retro games that are all over the PlayStation 4 and are popular with indie developers, you'll certainly feel right at home here, except this was a game that was designed by limitation, not by choice. And if you love these old school arcade fighters, these 2D fighters, you're certainly gonna love this one because SNK was known for their awesome arcade fighters. Number 5. Undertale. Undertale is a role-playing game created, developed, and published by indie developer and composer Toby Fox. While it was originally built for the Windows and Macintosh OS X, in 2017 it has become a console and portable exclusive on the PlayStation family, with the only known portable version coming to PlayStation Vita. The premise of this game follows a human child that falls into an abyss, a large secluded portion underneath the surface of the Earth. In the journey to return to the surface, the character meets many monsters, and all of the choices made affect the story and the outcome of the game. This game has received universal praise from both critics and gamers alike, and if you're looking for a portable version, the only place to get it is here on PlayStation Vita, with physical releases coming later this year between September and December of 2017. Number 4. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. At PSX 2016, this certainly came out of left field. You see, Sony Interactive Entertainment America has been treating the PS Vita as the red-headed stepchild of the PlayStation family, and has given it little to no time during their conferences at E3 or PlayStation Experience, until they announced Ys 8 for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita while holding a blue PS Vita up on stage. The premise of this game, like many others before it, features main character adult Kristen as he awakens on a cursed island called Serene Island. This title has reached critical acclaim in Japan, and I can only hope that it will be met with the same praise here in the West once its release. It also marks one of the larger AAA titles that have been announced and is coming to PlayStation Vita. Number 3. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. This list contains quite a few visual novel games already, but Danganronpa is probably one of the most popular visual novels in the Western world. Since its debut on the PlayStation Portable many years ago, this series has continued onward onto the PS Vita. I can't really tell you much about the premise of this game without spoiling everything, so let me put it to you like this. If you enjoyed Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc or Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair on PlayStation Vita, you're going to feel right at home here and excited for a sequel to this franchise. Now, number 2 and number 1 were kind of a surprise in my eyes when they were announced, and since so little is known about each individual game, grouping them together is probably the best way to go, since they are a part of the same popular franchise by Atlus. With that being said, number 2, Persona 3 Dancing Moon Night, and number 1, Persona 5 Dancing Star Night. With the success that Persona 4 Golden had on the PS Vita, its sequel Persona 4 Dancing All Night introduced a new game style. Instead of being an RPG dungeon crawler like its predecessor, it was instead a rhythm-based dancing game, while bringing back the original cast of characters from Persona 4 and picking up where their stories left off. So far, the trailers shown of each game look fantastic, and it was kind of a twist to see the Persona 3 cast make a comeback, since they haven't been mentioned since Persona 3 on the PlayStation 2 and Persona 3 Portable on the PlayStation Portable. If these two games are anything like Persona 4 Dancing All Night, I cannot wait to see where Atlus takes these two beloved casts of characters. And did I mention they both look gorgeous as well? Man, I cannot wait to play these on PlayStation Vita.
PlayStation